The metal tag is a tradition started by Scott the Rock Scout. It's now headed up by Heavy Metallurgy. I'm new to all this. I've never participated in this before, but I have seen some of these videos last year, and I've seen a few already this year. Basically, I mean, y'all probably already know. Everybody does their year-end list, top albums, and then the new year gets ushered in with this metal tag, this list of 20 questions where we talk about our collections and gush a little bit and clamor, and it's all good fun. And for someone like me who's just 3 years into this, you know, it's fun to participate, but also I like to see what other people have to say because I like to learn. I'm so new, I'm still trying to figure out if Graham Belial's key is death metal or black metal. I'm told that it's black metal, but my ears are like, wait a second. Speaking of ears, let me check while I'm here. Yep, still wet back here. Oh, hi there, my name's Jorge. I grew up in the 80s, and I used to love getting into trouble. I was back then and still am a huge fan of cats. I take my faith very seriously. I attended university at a Christian school. I've been a music fan my entire life, only recently discovering I really like extreme metal, and I want to invite you to journey with me on my discovery of extreme metal. We got 20 questions to get through, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start with question 1. It says, hype, name a release that you're eagerly anticipating in 2025. Make sure I read that right. The album, this is easy for me, but this album I'm about to say was thought to have been put out in 2024. That's what the man originally said. We didn't get it, so holding out hope for 2025. What am I talking about? MSW's Hell 5, the 5th album. It looked like 2 fingers. I tried to make it a V there. Yeah, Hell 5. You have the core trilogy of Hell albums, then you have the self-titled, which is the most recent offering, and then there were talks that he put out himself, Mr. MSW, that, yeah, working on Hell 5. So really hoping, fingers crossed, we get that this year. Question 2 says, show the 25th item, LP, CD, cassette in your collection. Now, what I'm about to show is the 25th item. I went to Discords and I was going to randomize it, but I thought, you know what, I want to stick to the rules, right? The 25th item, you're going to see this and be like, of course, a noob is going to show this, an album that everybody has, but this well and truly is the 25th album in my collection. Say what you will. It's a classic too, by the way. So, A Blaze in the Northern Sky. Wow, that glare. So, I mean, what more is there to say? Y'all probably already have this. This is a reissue. This isn't one of the older ones. Definitely a reissue. But, yeah, classic, 25th album. Try to get rid of that glare. So, question 3. It says, Overdue, name an older band that you checked out for the first time in 2024 and loved. I've heard about this band for a hot second. I've heard bits and pieces, but I pulled the trigger I part ways into last year and went ahead and picked up a reissue. This is 90s death metal, by the way. So we have Scrolls of the Megaloth by Mortification. We went from Dark Throne to Mortification. Wow. But yeah, this is definitely an older band. The one gentleman who heads it up, rest in peace, no longer with us, but man, he is super talented. And these first 3 albums, this one is the best in my opinion. Super gritty and thrashy. Everything you could hope for in early 90s death metal, in my opinion. Question 4 is Feeding the Monkey. How do you purchase most of your music? Local store, Bandcamp, specific online site? The answer is yes. Next question. No, yeah, I try to purchase directly through the label when I can, support the bands through Bandcamp. I even do some eBay, and there's some reliable sellers on eBay. I know that, well, anyway, yeah, I'll name a few. Thrash Metal IQ is one of them on eBay. Zion's Gate, found some really cool stuff. Some Oxygen Destroyers, some of the older tapes through them. Yeah, I mean, I do it all. I don't do Amazon or Walmart or any supporting these, monopolistic corporations, what have you. I just want to stick to the label, the band, mom and pop shops, what have you. I have a local store, Apollo Records, where I'm at, that I visit fairly frequently. So yeah, but mainly it's online. And next question. Question 5. We have Enigma. Show a heavy metal album that musically is really hard to place in a heavy metal subgenre. Pretty easy for me. A recent thing. We have Veilburner, The Duality of Decapitation and Wisdom, put out by Transcending Obscurity. This is, I guess, experimental avant-garde death metal, kinda. There are heavy metal elements. There's some thrash stuff. There's some what sounds like black metal in here to me. It's really all over the place. And even though that you would think, wouldn't that be a bit disjointed? Somehow they're able to sew it all together in a nice, neat package, and it really does work. Fan of these guys. Don't have any of their earlier stuff, but really like this. Question 6 is Eating Crow. Talk about an album you used to hate, but after years it just finally clicked for you, and now you can't get enough of it. Well, I'm going to go with Lunar Terrial by Swallowed. I remember when I first started listening to this, like I said, just a few years into this, but when I first ran across this, I was just like, why? I don't get it, right? And I just, I kept coming back to it, and, it's like blackened doom, I guess. It's definitely maybe death doom, but I think the pendulum has swung kind of way toward the doom side of things on this one. This is a very haunting album, super atmospheric. I don't even think these guys are around anymore, to be honest. Misaku Unoho put out, I think I got this, I got this through them. So this was their most recent repress that they did in 2024. Picked it up, love it. Question 7, Impulse. Show an album that you blind bought in 2024. We're going with Reverence to Paroxysm, Lux Morte. I am so glad that I decided to pick this up. I'm a big fan of Extremely Rotten. They didn't put out this. I think these guys are like Dark Descent, but Extremely Rotten, they handled the cassette side of things, right? But I love Dark Descent too, by the way. I always thought the cover looked cool to this, and I never listened to it. I just decided to buy it one day, and man, the vocals, the sludgy, like not really sludge, but super slow down, like doom style riffage, and oh man, it's everything I love. And the guy had, man, some of the most unique vocals in the game, in my opinion. Similar to the gentleman from Undergang, just gets down real low, and oh man, wow. What more can you ask for? Question 8, Collector Scum. Show a title that you own more than one pressing of, the same format. I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit because I already talked about this band anyway. I love them so much. So right here we have Hell. This is the self-titled one. It's always hard to make out this artwork. It is so dark, right? Right here, this is an alternate cover. This is the Peasant to Urfolk pressing right here. There were only 293 of these. This is a special edition. It's like I think a red variant. But yeah, only about 300 of these, and 100 of them got destroyed in transit. Just damaged beyond repair. So it's really cool. And this was the same masters that they used on the Throne recordings as well. So you got this one right here, which is Lower Your Head, right? And yeah, we got the tape. I own the entire Hell discography on vinyl and cassette, and some of them, like this, multiple copies. There we have it. Number 9, show off a grail, something you really wanted and you acquired in 2024. I keep my eye out there for Commodus stuff. Y'all know the prices get pretty crazy. This isn't the original Go to War X. This is the Bestial Grape Records reissue. I don't want YouTube to wag the finger at me. So yeah, I saw this fairly recently for a good deal, and yeah, what can I say? I'm one of those buyers who, I'll be frugal, is that the right term? Looking for deals and discounts, and try to shop wisely. That's how I was raised. But yeah, this is from the Ashes of Empire. This is his first demo, I believe. Maybe that's not accurate. The one I would really like to, I'm thinking about picking up Imperial Sun and Imperial Sun Rises, or the Wreath of the Fallen something or other. But anyway, yeah, those albums are pretty much out of my range. This one was a little more reasonable, so yeah, grabbed it up. Question 10, a plea to the VCLT gods. What is a grail item that you're on the hunt for? Well, I talked about Commodus Wreath, but another one that I always wanted was Samhain and Isham. You can't find these. I wish Glenn would reissue these. I don't know why he hasn't. But yeah, that's definitely something that I'm always on the lookout for. Will I ever find it? Probably not, but there you go. 11, Boomerang album. Show an album that no matter how many times you purge it from your collection, another copy returns to you. What are you doing here? No. So, I love this album. It's one of my favorites from them. Y'all probably have it as well. So, the reason that I got rid of my original copy, it wasn't an original press. Well, it was one of the early reissues. And the reason that I got rid of it, I didn't have the cover. I only had the insert and the album. So, yeah. I didn't even have the cover. I just had the album. And the backside had a big scratch. You couldn't even listen to side 2. And so I ended up getting rid of it. And of course, I made, the buyer aware of, the reason I was getting rid of it. And because I think it was older and stuff, they just wanted it or whatever. So I ended up grabbing this again and got rid of it again. And I don't even know why that I did. But so anyway, they ended up doing some reissues some time ago. And I picked up this. This is also, don't be deceived, it looks like this is the remastered that has the black label. This is actually a reissue. So, try to stay away from the remasters. If it's one thing I learned new here, it's stay away from the capital remasters of those early Megadeth albums. So, number 12 says, Reunion. Name an artist that you had lost track of over time but reconnected with in 2024. I'm going to skip that question. I don't know that it really applies to me. I'm so new at, like I said, 3 years into this, so I don't, yeah. So let's go on to the next question. Upstart. Question 13, name a new band whose debut album really impressed you. The debut didn't have to come out in 2024, but recently. So we're going to go with Retribution of the Witch's Hammer. Hexenhaus is the band. This did release in early 2024. This is some of the best black metal that I have heard. The production is there. It's the perfect balance between raw and decent production. It just sounds good. I've been heralding the praises of this album since day one, and I still am. I'm curious to see the direction they take and what they're going to do for their second album. Question 14, influencer. Show a band release that you bought in 2024 as a direct result of watching someone's YouTube channel. Adam Schnell. I watched a bunch of Undergang videos from him back in the day. That's pretty much one of the reasons I started collecting Undergang. Between him and Jeff from Mendicant Media. So we have Doden Liger, Ali Sar. Not pronouncing that right, I'm sure of it. But this is actually the Head Split release. I think they took out these tapes when they were first touring in the U.S. With Spectral Voice, right? Because it comes with the insert. Not all of them come with this. I'm one of the lucky ones, apparently. But we'll just show this to you real quick. Yeah, but because of Snell and Jeff and people like them, I got into Undergang. Question 15. Don't judge a book by its cover. Show a great album with bad cover art. I was going to do something that would cause me to be called poser. Show Sunbather. such bad album art, but I really do like that album. I'm not going to do that though, because there's one I think even better, definitely by a long shot. But yeah, so Venterland, Welcome, my last chapter. Classic, right? Classic 90s melodic black metal. But man, the colors, it just always purple, in my opinion, shouldn't go with black metal. I get it, yeah, dissection, what have you, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it's all right. The material though is what does it for me. It's not the album art, but yeah, not too impressed with that, but definitely am with the music, so that's what's most important, right? Question 16, an artist who puts out cover art that you really like. We're going to go with Wes Ben Scooter. He does a lot of the Cattle to Cap stuff, Monolith of Inhumanity, Death Atlas, Terrasite, and he also did the new Fulci album, Duckface Killing. So there you have it, Mr. Wes Ben Scooter. Alright, we have question 17, name an album that you would like to see reissued on vinyl or CD, your preferred medium. Well, I'm going to go with Tentacle, Lacerating Patterns. I think it's only ever come out on CD. I can name another one, a black metal one, Christian black metal. Sorrow Storm, that was another one that's only ever on CD. I wish they would at least do cassette. I don't do CDs. I have a couple in my vehicles, but as far, I just mainly concerned with analog music. I just want cassettes or vinyl. One of those two. Question 18. Name an album from a genre that you typically do not listen to very much. Dungeon synth. Not something, I mean, I played around and heard this and that, but I do like Nithgrath. So this is Transylvanian Recordings, a one-man dark ambient black metal dungeon synth project. Jimmy or James originally sent this one to me. This is a compilation of the first two Nithgrath albums, Communication and also Visions of White Mountains, and I was just blown away by it. I mean, like I said, I knew what dungeon synth was, but just to hear it so dark and brooding and so black metal-y, it was more my style, so I picked up the new release, Entombed Ardor, there in 2024. Question 19, what band do you want to see, or do you hope to see live in 2025? This is pretty easy for me, right? Spectral Voice. Man, dying to see them. They never tour, hardly, not really. They did last year some. There was some shows on the East Coast. I would have made it if that were the case. On the West Coast, where some of my friends out in Cali, they got a chance to see him, and so in a weird way, I got to sort of, experience some of the action through their videos that they posted, what have you. Like to see him myself. Is in closing, tell your viewers about 2 new, to me, YouTube channels you discovered in 2024, or just shout out 2 channels you enjoy. This is going to be an easy one for me, and y'all probably know this anyway. We got Jeff over at Mendicant Media and Simon Explosive Action. These guys are 2 guys that I trust, right? They're veterans, right? And I mean that in the most respectful way. I trust people who've been in this for a lot longer than me, but they've been doing this for a while, right? For years, right? So I trust what they have to say. Part of my collection is due solely to just watching Jeff's videos. But I love seeing these guys just clamor about these bands, and then it gets me interested, and then I'm checking out bands I never heard of, and now, it's just, great channels. Mendicant Media, Jeff, and you got Explosive Action, Simon. I'll leave links in the description. Alright friends, there you have it. There was the Metal Tag 2025, my entry. Already seen a few, some others, hoping to check out some more. Jorge, Christian who collects death metal, signing off. Be blessed.